Hello students, let us discuss the essays for UPSC CSE 2023. Now we'll be discussing section A part 2 visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. तो इसमें हम सबसे पहले keywords को समझ लेते हैं. So first thing is visionary decision making, and this visionary decision making will happen at the intersection of intuition, and second is logic. So if you have proper intuition, that is gut feeling experience, and you are using logic rather than your emotions, you will make a visionary decision, or these helps to make a visionary decision. This is what it wants to say. So let us introduce this essay. What can be a good introduction? So one of the introduction that I thought is that we can write it as clock back to 1947, and the British are leaving the Indian subcontinent. The British are leaving the Indian subcontinent. One by one, many countries are achieving their independence, such as India, Pakistan, Ceylon, and Burma. So one by one, these countries are achieving their independence. Okay. And there's a lot of hope, lot of joy in people of these countries that after so many years, we are free. But one by one, if you see, these countries began to collapse or collide or face hurdles, such as Pakistan was split into two in 1971. Sri Lanka or Ceylon faced a civil war, and recently it faced a default. Pakistan also had its own fair share of economic problems, and also there's a indirect military rule in Pakistan, which has been present for so many years. Also, Burma is facing the crisis of military takeover. So all these countries were not able to succeed, but India, on the other hand, succeeded. Why? This was due to the fact that India had a great constitution. India had a great constitution. Its founding fathers, the founding fathers of India, were visionary in nature. Okay, all the founding fathers, be it Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Bhim Rao Ambedkar ji, all these were visionary in nature, who had written the constitution, and they provided for a secular polity and a kind of constitution. So they provided for a secular constitution and a kind of constitution which helped to keep India united, resolve conflicts of many clans, castes, etc. So this is why logic and intuitiveness helped to create a good constitution which has now propelled India to be one of the major powerhouses in the world. The logic and intuitiveness of that time of our founding fathers, of those who have written the constitution, have helped us now to achieve a good economic growth, to keep the country united. So like this, कुछ इस तरीके से you can introduce it. Okay. That these visionary leaders, they also promoted scientific temper. Scientific temper was promoted rather than superstition and taboo. So this is one of the ways in which you can introduce the essay. Okay, there can be n number of ways, and you can tell us in the comment section below what you like. So ये एक तरीका है जैसे आप इंट्रोड्यूस कर सकते हो. नाउ मूविंग अहेड, अब इस essay में दो वर्ड्स हैं, इंट्यूशन एंड लॉजिक. So in second part, you can define what intuition is and what logic is. You can define a little bit about intuition. कि जो intuition है, it comes from experience. Okay, it comes from the fact that when you have a good amount of knowledge, and logic also when you have knowledge. Okay, when you have read about things, when you have good amount of experience. So how do you build intuition? How do you have logic? You have to tell, and how both of these help you to take a good decision. Good decision. Second part में आप ये explain कर सकते हैं that how it can help you to make good decisions, because if you are using logic, so you will not use your emotions to make decisions because you are using logic. It is very important nowadays to use logic to make decisions, not your emotions, because when you make decisions with emotions, it may happen that you may make a wrong decision. Then how intuition helps? Because with intuition you will have a gut feeling, you will have a good experience, you will have other things. So all these will help make you good decisions, and with these good decisions a visionary decision is made. तो कुछ इस तरीके से आप सेकेंड पार्ट को बता सकते हो, कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स दे सकते हो, एंड देन यू कैन give examples to support your essay. Then we can give some of the examples to support our essay in this case. तो इसमें पहले तो जैसे हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का एग्जाम्पल दिया इंट्रोडक्शन में, देन वी कैन गिव द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ यूपीआई एंड डिजिटल इंडिया. यूपीआई एंड डिजिटल इंडिया, ठीक है. इन सेकेंड पार्ट वी कैन गिव दिस एग्जाम्पल ऑफ यूपीआई एंड डिजिटल इंडिया. So with intuition and logic, because our government thought that we need to move digitally and we had been exporting these softwares for years, so government thought, why not provide everyone with internet, why not help everyone with the help of internet. So this UPI and digital India was born. This is one of the ways in which you can write. Another example is of Cipla Pharmaceuticals, okay, in which Yusuf Hamid made a visionary decision that he will supply 8 drugs in 10 cents or less than a dollar, or in 10 cents, to the African countries, because people were dying in Africa due to AIDS, but they didn't had access to medicines because these medicines were costly due to patents being done in the USA. So Yusuf Hamid, what he did was that with the help of his company Cipla, he made a bold decision, and he became a visionary that he will supply drugs to African nations, and the drugs will cost less than 10 cents, okay, or $0.1, so less than 10 cents. And Yusuf Hamid has received Padma Shri from the government, okay, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan, both the awards. So due to this reason he became a visionary. This is another example that you can give. फिर आप अगला एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो स्टीव जॉब्स का. स्टीव जॉब्स, स्टीव जॉब्स had an intuition कि हर किसी को, that everyone in future will want a personal computer and will want a personal mobile. So he took a bold decision with his logic and intuition to introduce personal PCs. With his intuition he introduced this, and he also then further he introduced things like iPod, iPhone and iPad, because he thought कि जो iPhone है, it should be an intersection of smartphone, iPod and a good user experience. All these three things. So Steve Jobs invented this. So आप ऐसे एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो. फिर आप मैडम क्यूरी का एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो आगे चल के. Okay, you can give the example of Madam Curie. So Madam Curie thought that still more discovery needs to be done with respect to certain elements. Okay, certain elements that her intuition was telling her, or her intuition and logic was telling her that certain elements needs more discovery. And due to this, what she did, she discovered more and more particles. Okay, and due to this, we know Madame Curie for radium now. So this is one of the ways in which you can give examples. Okay, Madame Curie, by her intuition that certain elements need to be discovered more, okay, by her logic, invented radium. Then other examples can be of Elon Musk and Starlink. Elon Musk, who is launching Starlink. So he's providing internet with the help of satellites rather than mobile towers. This is a new thing which he is doing. तो आप इस तरीके से examples दे सकते हो. उसके बाद there are more examples. So a lot more examples that you can give. Albert Einstein and his theory of general relativity. Then we have 3D printing, which is now taking place. ठीक है, तो ये जो 3D printing है, it is less costlier and is more faster to prototype things, etc. So you can give the examples of 3D printing. Then we have other examples of renewable energy. So there's no limit to examples. You have to take them yourself. I'm just giving you a outline. तो आपको जो लगता है आप उस हिसाब से अपने examples add या subtract कर सकते हैं. You can also change the tone and the way in which you are writing the essay. I'm just giving you a rough outline of how I think I would have approached this essay. Okay, so this is 3D printing. Now, आज के you have to write कि in today's world why do we need it? Okay, now you have to write in today's world that why, because this essay has been given, so a little bit of relevance of this essay in today's world. So what it is there? Okay, so in today's world also we need logic, we need logic and intuition, we need logic and intuition so that we can tackle the challenges such as of plastic pollution, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, आई एम जस्ट राइटिंग GW फॉर ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. तो हम प्लास्टिक पॉल्यूशन को चेक कर सकते हैं, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग को चेक कर सकते हैं, हंगर और इनइक्वालिटी जो है वर्ल्ड में, हंगर एंड इनइक्वालिटी, उसको हम चेक कर सकते हैं वर्ल्ड में. तो वी नीड टू डू थिंग्स लाइक दीज. ओके, सो दैट इज वाई वी नीड लॉजिक एंड इंट्यूशन एंड टू मेक बोल्ड विजनरी डिसीजंस टू बीट दीज चैलेंजेस. ठीक है, तो अब ये कैसे आएगा इस पे होता है. सो हाउ यू कैन मेक विजनरी डिसीजंस और हाउ यू कैन हैव लॉजिक एंड इंट्यूशन बिल्ड, और व्हाट गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग. So government of India, suppose it is organizing youth parliament, so you can give examples that youth parliament are being organized all over the country for making visionary decisions and visionary leaders. ठीक है, नई रोशनी scheme is there. Globally, you can write the examples of Model United Nations, MUN. So this is helping to create more and more visionary leaders. So this is what you can write, MUN. Okay. So, and at last you can conclude. So in conclusion, you can write that this will help a visionary decision or visionary leadership. Okay, visionary leadership can help to achieve the dream of Swaraj as envisaged by Mahatma Gandhi. So it can help to achieve the dream of Swaraj. Okay, as envisioned by Mahatma Gandhi ji. It can help us to fight injustice, domestic violence, and it will also ensure sabka saath sabka vikas. So this is one way in which you can conclude the essay, sabka saath sabka vikas. So this is one of the ways in which you can write your essay, you can conclude your essay. Although there are other ways also, I would recommend that you can have your own creative freedom. You can experiment. You can tell us in the comment section how you would have written the essay or approached it. So if you like this video, it's a humble request. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And very thank you and all the best.